She was down and out in Beverly Hills herself. Her career was in a heap, and so was her private life. But not any longer. The divine Miss M is now a Mrs., a mother, and laughing all the way to the bank.
If you want to call me Divine Mrs. M, you can do that. I don't mind. I wonder how long it'll last, though, before I go stark raving mad.
Right now, that would not be appreciated. Bette has had 6 hit movies in a row, and that makes Disney the #1 studio in America.
Every guy I have ever slept with, and we are way into double digits here, has come back for more.
Disney studios love you to death these days.
I made a lot of money for them. They better.
Yeah.
So what did they give me? They gave me a Mickey watch.
Did they?
Yes.
And you made $300 million for them, and they give you a Mickey Mouse watch?
Yeah.
You want me to yell back at John? You're 2 hours late. I mean, do you want me to yell at him?
I would like a little more.
You like a little more energy.
Yeah.
Midler's the kind of gal who knows exactly what she wants. She's not only the star, often she's the producer as well, with her own company, All Girl Productions. What's the motto again?
We hold a grudge.
And do you?
Tremendous grudge holders in our company. We remember everyone that slights us or slurs us.
And what do you do to them?
We just don't work with them. That's all. Their names keep coming up and we say, nope, too bad.
No, they're on the grudge file.
That's right. We call it the shit list where we come from.
Oh, is that right?
Gehring had 2 and they were small. Himmler.
The divine Miss M at her raunchy best.
He didn't deserve any. Come on, don't be a bunch of sore losers, everybody.
She first strutted this sort of stuff in the gay bathhouses of New York, circa 1975. Is that where sleaze with ease and
I can't
trash
believe
with slash?
I did that, yeah. Trash with slash. Give me a break here.
Sorry, we'll do that again. Sorry, I'll do that again.
That sounds like I sound like a mass murderer. A bass murderer.
Back then, in the bathhouses, it was anything goes, on stage and off. What was the view like from the stage?
Well, it was just sort of like people in towels. People with towels around their popos.
Around there?
Popos. That's what we call it. That's what we call it at my house.
And did you see many popos?
I didn't see any popos or peepees the whole time I was there. You know, and people used to say that to me. Well, gee. But I had a great time. They were really a forgiving crowd, and I was such an amateur.
Are you embarrassed by those days now?
Embarrassed? No. I can't say I'm embarrassed. Well, maybe that is a good word. It's quite disturbing when I think back about it.
That you were involved?
Yeah, that I was part of it, yeah. I am sorry that I made it seem like it was a lot of fun because so many people died.
In the winter,
The song and the movie that made Bette Midler an international star. The story of a boozing, drug-taking rock singer, The Rose.
that with the sun's love in the
She may have been acting, but it wasn't all that far from reality.
the road.
I was never a big drug user, but I drank. I drank a little bit.
And you weren't a good drinker either, were you?
I'm a terrible, terrible drinker. I have a personality change around the 3rd drink. And it's not a lady you really want to meet.
Is that right?
No, a biter and scratcher, and that's not really so attractive. And
Now-
then I got like so nuts because I thought, well, I really have a problem here. I better go to AA.
You really thought about AA?
I did. Actually, I went to a couple of meetings because it sounded like so much fun.
And looking across the room saying, I
I
didn't know.
can't believe it.
Didn't know he was.
Yeah.
Great gosh, it might have been a long time coming.
Down and Out in Beverly Hills was Bette's first movie for Disney, and her only movie in 4 years. At the time, few guessed that Bette too had been right down and very nearly out. Was the nervous breakdown that you had that bad?
Well, it was bad for me. I mean, it was one of the worst things that ever happened to me in my life, and I've lived through a fair amount.
You were saying you were crying, waking up in the morning, crying, going to sleep, that life wasn't really...
You really love this part, don't you?
Well, it's an interesting part in your life that you were up.
You're up,
and
you're
then,
down.
And then down.
Yeah, and then you're up, and then you're
up
down
again.
again. So it's, everybody's life is like that to some degree or another. No one's life is all one level all the time. And here comes my fabulous husband.
Her fortunes really soared when this funny Jewish girl met a funny German guy, comedian Martin von Hasselberg. 2 months after your second date,
Yes.
out you went and got married.
Yes, we did.
It was an interesting wedding too,
What was
wasn't
I thinking of? I don't know what I was thinking of. I must have been very brave. I must have said, well, this is it. Why not?
it? Was it hard marrying a German at first?
Well, yeah. He's quite smart, my husband. And, but still he was a kraut. So it was hard. It was hard.
What's that line you use?
Oh, yes. You know, I don't remember. You know all my material much better than me. Oh, yes. Every night I get dressed up as Poland and he invades me. That much I remember.
And that still happens?
Occasionally.
Yeah?
Very occasionally.
Well, I guess that happens in marriage. Huh? 3 years ago, along came little Sophie. Because you had a fairly ordinary childhood, do you feel as if you're living Sophie's childhood to sort of catch up in some ways?
I don't think of my childhood as ordinary at all.
I mean, materialistically, and it was tough.
Yeah, it was tough. I was poor. I was pretty poor. And I'm bringing my daughter up poor. Slightly poor. Somewhat poor. Rich poor. I don't want her to have
How do you do that?
Well, I don't want her to have too many things. There's certain things I won't give her. I don't want her to have a Barbie doll. I'm sorry. I just don't think it helps the brain.
You're still playing the Wicked Witch?
Oh, always. She says, now you be the Wicked Witch and I will be the princess who is trapped. I was trapped for 100 days and you must find me. So, okay, all right, okay. So then we play that for about a couple of hours. And I'm still picking up, you know, there she is, and I pat her and rescue her. She's divine.
Like all doting mums, Bet insists she's firm, a real disciplinarian.
When my daughter is 13 and starts talking back to me and saying I'm a stick in the mud because I won't, you know, do this and that, how am I going to feel?
You can pull out a few of the old videos. Hey, have a look at these. Don't call me a stick in the mud. Well, you can. That's fair enough.
It's true. It's true.
You know? But then again, you'll never be able to tell her not to swear.
That's right. That's why I don't want her to see any
And not
of these.
tell dirty jokes.
That's right. That's absolutely right. She can have all my old sheets when she gets to be old enough. She can do my old act.
Would you let her?
I'd rather she got an act of her own. My act wasn't terribly original. You know.
Would it worry if it was as bawdy and lewd as your old act?
I wonder. I really wonder.
Any more children?
We think about it. We talk about it. We try, you know. But I'm 44 now, so I don't want to go to a fertility man and get pumped full of chemicals and wind up with the Dion quintuplets. I want to. If it happens, it happens. I feel fatalistic that way.
You're not pregnant now?
No. Why do I look like it? Have I got that mask?
No, not at all. I just thought you might care to announce.
Oh, I wish I.
on
Well,
National
listen.
Show.
If I were. Hey, I'm pregnant. If I were pregnant, I'd announce it. I'm shameless.
You'd tell the world, huh?
I would. Yeah, it's great fun.
But you are still trying, and you're going to hope for the best, huh?
Yes. You want to come home and watch me and my husband? We do try. You would shoot that. That's your idea of a real
not at all.
scoop.
No, I'm not into that. Sitting in the corner. Thanks very much.
I don't know. How big is it at 3 months?
Tadpole. Peanut.
Yeah, but it don't have no brain, right? I mean, it doesn't feel anything, right?
In her latest movie, Bet plays Stella, the strongest dramatic role of her career.
I'll decide in a couple of days.
You said that last month.
I will. I said I will, and I will.
She's poor, distinctly unglamorous, unmarried, and pregnant.
I can have it, or I can have an abortion. Or I can have it and give it away. But I don't know why they call them choices. They're all terrible.
May I ask your personal stand on abortion?
I don't have a stand. I think it's up to the woman. Right. I guess that's my stand. It's every woman's decision, and you can't legislate that. Here we go.
In the movie, she chooses to have the baby. But years later, she has to let her daughter go. A battler like Stella has nothing material to offer. Do you think acting ugly these days is a sure path to an Academy Award?
Well, you know, people have always said that. Cynics, great cynics.
It's an old saying, isn't it?
Yeah, have always said that, oh, you know, take your makeup off and dress in rags and you'll be sure to get an Academy Award. I knew I was going to dress down, but I didn't think I was going to dress this far down. And I was pretty depressed.
About having to dress that way?
Oh, I was just, it was so grim. It was too grim to be believed.
Grim, maybe, but never for long. Bet, the wife, the doting mum, the doyenne of the Disney studio, can still mix it with the best of them. Especially when it comes to risque routines. You get a big laugh at the London Palladium when you first
When I disrobed,
showed your
when I
boobs?
showed my boobies. Oh yeah, that was a big laugh too. That was a very big laugh. Of course, I got beaten up afterwards. My manager hit me for it. Don't do that. What if they had taken a picture? But they didn't take a picture. That was horrible.
And as a mum and wife, certainly you no longer...
So I never showed my
yourself.
boobs?
No?
That's right. Can you say these words on Australian TV?
Sure.
You guys.